Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nubrays, and in today's video, we're doing a couple of things. I'm showing you a team I'm working on. I've not got this quite 100% perfect yet. Um, I'll give you some ideas though for what to do with it, based off a Tyraku team, of course, the master of this stuff. But we basically have a 3 times drop frenzy for speed gear from Dragon starting tomorrow. So we're definitely gonna debate whether or not that's a good thing. Uh, I was kind of throwing this team together a little bit. What we're trying to do here is, while still using arena viable builds, seeing if we can get through this dungeon with the duo of Elva plus Nishak Verminlord. And for the most part, this works really well. You can see Elva reviving Nishak puts him into a veil as well to keep him safe. And then Nishak at Surpassive puts out the veil every single turn. He will still die to AoEs, or if the veil drops, of course. Elva gonna pump out just tons of healing on herself. And Nishak with the AoE bombs and all of that stuff is going to just wipe out the waves. We get to the boss, and Nishak with the bombs, with the poisons, is going to solo the dragon. Elva's going to keep him alive. Pretty simple combo, pretty simple duo. And we get to bring in 3 food champions at the same time, which is pretty cool. Now, with the way I have this set up, I'm not actually 100% sure what the success rate of this team is. In my testing, I have had 1 failure, so this is not a 100% team, but it might still be worthwhile if you're low on energy, simply because you're going to be picking up a bunch of experience on these champions anyway. So it can actually work out as still being okay, even if you fail a run from time to time. Basically, where this goes wrong, I believe in Tyraku's videos, he did have Elva in like Defiant gear or Stalwart gear or something like that. And if you put her into that gear, she's absolutely going to be totally fine. I have her in a 6-piece set of Stone Skin, which is still really good, but it's not as good for this. So it's sort of up to you, right? The reason I've got Elva in Stone Skin is for the arena, to make her just as survivable as possible. I don't have any reaction pieces that are good really for her faction. So she kind of needs the stone skin to survive initially, and I use her all the time in arena. If you were just using Elva for this, and she also duos Ice Golem hard 10 with Walking Doomdrang, then you could put her in Stalwart, and it's going to make that stuff really consistent. She can solo 100%, I'm pretty sure, in this build with Walking Doomdrang, no problem for Ice Golem. It's much easier because she doesn't have to revive an Ice Golem, whereas Nishak is going to die. Case in point, Nishak will die in this run, so you need to leave her revive turned on, which means that she does less healing because she's not doing her A1, and obviously Walking Doomdrang tops her up as well. So it is possible for Elva to die. Like I said, if you gave her Stalwart or Defiant gear sets, she wouldn't. So it's sort of up to you. But yeah, man, what a champion. I get, I totally get why people were really frustrated by the Elva guaranteed event, because it was the first time they increased the cost of sacred shards for guaranteed events. So I totally get it. At the same time, though, basically almost every day, daily in this game, seeing Elva, I use her all the time in arena, for Ice Golem, for this dungeon now. Just what a champion. I'm like, man, that was like the best 20 sacred shards I ever spent, was to get that guaranteed Elva. She is so good. 3 minutes, 15 seconds. So you can see Elva's pumping out the healing, keeping us alive. And Nishak is the one doing all the damage. We get the food champs in. They're getting some experience, which is cool. So yeah, it's sort of that toss-up. I can do this dungeon in about 1 minute with a proper team. I can do it literally 3 times slower with a duo, but get some experience along the way. So, if you're going in and you're spending energy, you don't have that much energy. You're like, I'm just going to do this slowly. I don't really care. This can be a pretty viable way to do it. Like I said, though, again, this team not quite 100. Let me show you the stats on the team, and then we'll talk about whether it's even worth it at all. So Elva, like I said, in 6-piece Stone Skin. If you put her in Stalwart or Defiant, you're going to absolutely smash it. So she has these stats right here. Very high stats. If I include the Dragon Lair bonuses, I apparently have none. So she doesn't get anything else. So yeah, very high stats. She's got high speed. Now, you don't need her speed this high. This is really an arena thing. I would say probably over 250 is probably going to be enough, I would guess. You do want a lot of HP and defense on her. Again, if you put her in Stalwart or Defiant, right, you can get up to 45% damage reduction from AoE attacks. That really, if you're taking basically half damage from the AoE attacks from Ice Golem and Dragon, yeah, that's what lets you drop your defensive stats a lot more. You're probably going to need defensive stats somewhat like this, and probably above 250 speed for safety to be able to pull this off with Elva, realistically. But gear sets make a huge difference, and she has these masteries. It's my arena build. Nothing has changed there. Nishak, I did have to change. He is in this, so he's in an arena build, right? But I had to re-gear him to make him faster. So I've made Nishak a lot faster. He's running at 239 speed right now. I had to drop his accuracy a ton. I had him at 600 accuracy before, but he was only, I think, 207 speed. But I've tried him a bit in arena, live arena, and I didn't like it. I did not like him with that build. He was just too slow. Did not like it. Now I've got him much faster with lower accuracy. So yeah, I kind of figure, man, a lot of people aren't really running accuracy in arena at the moment anyway. I can get away with like 500 should be plenty, right? If I'm going to use bombs, I think that's going to be plenty. I'd much rather have him quick so we can get in and get the bombs out before the enemy actually murder him. So that's the idea with Nishak. So yeah, the stats that you need, but I think somewhere along these lines defensively is a good idea. The damage stat, so attack, right? The attack stat is going to speed up your run, but it's not essential. That's more of making the run a bit faster, making him more viable for arena. I'd say the speed is important. You want him to be faster than the boss, so he gets turns in. And then you do want him to have somewhat defensive stats like this, because it will make him actually survive the hits from the dragon, which is quite nice. I think he needs... Oh, I think it's about 350 accuracy, I think, for dragon, stage 10 hard. So we're overkilling the accuracy, but it's good for arena. And yeah, something like this. Again, triple perception is probably the way to go. You could put him in other stats and other sets if you want him to survive. You could build him in just regen and super tanky, and he's going to do this job fine. It'll be slower but safer. So it's once more, it's really up to you. So that's like the dragon duo. Now, is this going to be worth it? Number one, we don't know if the dragon tournament's going to have good rewards. Probably not. It's just something to do. Triple speed is an interesting one. What do you guys think about triple speed drop rate? So look, speed set is obviously the fastest set in the game. That's cool. You can get mythical speed now, which is definitely the fastest in the game, no question. Problem I have with dragon is that the rest of the sets are pretty bad. Accuracy is trash, lifesteal's trash, destroy as well. Destroy has some niche uses, same as toxic, but not much. Look, accuracy is just fully replaced by perception. Lifesteal fully replaced by bloodthirst late game. Frost is really fully replaced by frostbite late game. Stalwart's pretty good. That can coexist with Defiant in my mind, because Defiant is so limited. Avenging's pretty pants, so is Daze. There's really not much good in here, and these sets also don't sell for much silver. Dragon's pretty terrible in terms of silver farm. So I'm not entirely convinced. The way the drop frenzy works, by the way, you normally have a 1 out of 9 chance to get speed, because it's 1 out of 9. In a 2x drop frenzy, you have 2 out of 10, goes up to 20% chance. In a 3x event, it goes up to 27%. So it's like slightly better than double chances, really, is what it works out as. So it's all right. It's not triple chances. That'd be 33%. It's a bit lower than that, just how they work things. It's the same sort of thing they do for 10x events and summoning, you know? So it's all right. Is this the way to go now, though? Like, the chance for mythical speed, and then you have to roll multiple times into the speed substat. The chances of getting an upgrade, I feel like has to be... I haven't actually worked it out, but I feel like it has to be so unbelievably low. So I'm not really convinced that it's worthwhile. Like, most of the stuff you're going to get, you know, like 8 out of 11. Well, let's say 7 out of 11. Let's count Stalwart is pretty good. Most of this gear is going to be total trash. Like, even mythical accuracy, I don't really see the point compared to just using perception, you know? Most of this gear is going to suck. It's going to be so unlikely to get good speed. And for me, the opportunity cost, man, like... Honestly, I'd be much rather farming Sand Devil and actually getting these oils, right? You need so many oils, and there's really good gear. Like, all your frickin' stone skin gear that's good from Hydra, every week you're gonna get probably a few pieces, right, that are worth using. You need to oil that up. All of the Doom Tower gear that you're forging, that's actually really good. Any Forge Pass gear that you're forging, getting that oiled up. Like, there's a really, you know, that I feel like that is going to make a bigger impact. No? What do you guys think? Let me know. I feel like that is going to make a bigger impact. If I'm a late game player, what use is this very, very, very tiny chance of speed for me versus actually going and farming up the oil that I need to farm? Like, my energy is not unlimited. I've got limited energy, limited time. I'm just not really convinced by the drop frenzy, to be honest. Or I could even stock up some potions for the next fusion. That might even be kind of nice. I've got plenty of champs I need to mastery up in Minotaur still. I don't know. I don't know. It just, for me, Sand Devil versus a Drop Frenzy. I don't know. Like, how much am I using speed gear anyway? Not, not very much. Not very much. There's very few champions I want pure speed gear on, like Arbiter. If I had a Sifi, maybe a Sifi. There's very few, you know, like typically a lot of the champions I want to be running fast, lockout champions or crowd control champions, are really going to be better in perception because they need accuracy anyway. So I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. I think it's certainly interesting. If you run Elva as a duo, let me know how it works. I'm also very curious. I think that you could use Python instead, but I'm not 100% sure what gear sets you would need. And I think it's, I don't know. I'm curious if it's slower. Elva's pretty nice because with her passive, she protects Nishak with the veil and stuff, which is pretty cool. But I'm not 100% sure. Let me know. Thank you for watching. I hope you found it interesting, and I'll see you all next time. Also, good luck in CVC. We're first place, boys. We're the first place con. Oh, these guys are catching up, though. The Dreadnoughts, they're catching us. Uh-oh. All right. We'll see y'all next time. Goodbye.